A man, 47 years old, smart, experienced, seen a lot. He's sitting in front of a blank page, a decision he's been putting off too long. He can feel it. His gut is clear, but he doesn't move. Not because he doesn't know the answer, but because he's not sure his answer is the right one. So he waits for someone to say, yes, that's okay. Yes, that's correct. Yes, you're not wrong. A man with 20 years of experience, waiting for permission. He hasn't been a student in decades, but somewhere inside him, there's still someone waiting to be graded at the board. This isn't a character flaw, it's his programming. And the first lines of that program were written into him at around age 6. Today I want to talk about what school actually did to us. Not to our kids, to us. To those of us who are now 35, 45, 55. And about how to get out of it, because there is a way out, and it doesn't require a new career, a new city, or starting from scratch. A few years ago, a British educator named Ken Robinson stepped onto the TED main stage with one question: do schools kill creativity? That talk became one of the most watched TED Talks in history. Tens of millions of views. Why did a talk about education draw that kind of audience? Because people weren't watching it about school. They were watching it about themselves. I want to say something up front. School gave us a lot: foundational knowledge, discipline, the ability to follow things through, and good teachers. This isn't about discrediting education. It's about the other side, the habits the system may have left behind inside us. Because the system had unspoken rules: absolute, daily. Don't make mistakes. A mistake means shame, a red mark, getting called to the board, the class laughing. Do what you're told. Your own opinion comes later, if it's even welcome. Work alone. Helping a classmate means cheating. Talking means disrupting class. There is one right answer. Find it. Guess it. And God help you if you answer differently. 12 years. Every single day. Thousands of repetitions. These weren't just classroom rules. They were a program. And it's still running, just not in the classroom. It's running in your head. And then we wonder why a grown adult is afraid to be a beginner, even though that's exactly where everything alive starts. Here's what that program looks like at 40. You want to say something in a meeting, and you go quiet for a second. What if I got it wrong? What if they think it's stupid? You want to start something new, and you wait until you're ready enough. That moment never seems to arrive. You make a decision, and then you look for confirmation from someone nearby. Not because you doubt the logic, because you want someone to say, yes, that's right. You hear criticism, and something tightens inside. Not anger, fear. The same one from the classroom. You do something well and you think, but who am I to talk about it? Someone probably does it better. I'm probably not enough. One name for this is imposter syndrome. Across different studies, roughly 70% of people report feeling this way at some point in their lives. Almost everyone. This isn't a disorder, it's a pattern. We were all taught the same thing. There's a right answer, and if you don't know it, you're not smart enough. You leave school, and you carry that exam with you. Into work, into relationships, into life. Now, a moment that's hard to shake once you see it. Today, artificial intelligence passes many standardized tests at a level that until recently seemed like exclusively human territory. It solves problems, writes essays, finds the right answer, and responds in seconds. And here's the question I can't get out of my head. If the skill we spent all those years building is no longer uniquely human, what's left in us that it can't do? We were trained to find the right answer fast, but that skill is no longer ours alone. What becomes more valuable is everything else. Asking real questions, seeing connections others miss, taking risks without guaranteed results, building something from nothing, and taking responsibility where there's no instruction manual. Carol Dweck, a psychologist at Stanford, found a simple pattern. Kids constantly praised for being smart, "You're so smart," started to fear mistakes more, because a mistake threatened the image. Kids praised for effort, "You worked hard, you didn't give up," weren't stopped by failure. It was just part of the process. School praised the right answer, not the attempt, the result. And we grew up as people who wait for the right moment for years, a moment that never comes, because for us, the right moment means the answer is guaranteed in advance. There are no guarantees, ever. If you've ever caught yourself doing this, hit like. It helps the channel, and it helps this conversation reach the people who need it right now. What to do about it, concretely? Because knowing I was programmed this way is only the beginning. That knowledge alone changes nothing. What changes things is what you do next. First, replace the word mistake with the word data. A mistake is a verdict. Data is information. I screwed up sounds like something is wrong with me. I got some data sounds like I learned something important. This isn't wordplay. It's a different way to process failure. One shuts you down, the other moves you forward. Second, start doing one thing without permission. Don't ask if it's okay. Don't wait for approval. Don't explain why. Just do it. This is about the things where you've simply gotten used to asking permission for your own life. It's a muscle. It atrophied. It can come back. But only through practice, not through understanding. Third, stop looking for the one right answer where there isn't one. There are fields where a right answer really exists. Math, medicine, engineering, safety. But in most things that actually matter, life doesn't hand you an answer key. In relationships, there's no one right answer. In how you raise your kids, no. In how to live your life, definitely not. There's your answer. Alive, imperfect, adjustable. And it's worth more than someone else's correct one. Fourth, do something you'll be bad at first. This sounds odd, but it might be the most powerful step. Sign up for something where you're a beginner, where no one knows you as the person who always gets it right, where mistakes are normal because everyone's just starting. This gives you something most adults don't have, the experience of a mistake not killing you, of not knowing the answer and continuing anyway, of starting being awkward and that being okay. Fifth, find the question that lights you up, not the answer. School taught us to look for answers, but alive people move on questions, not answers. An answer closes a topic. A question opens a path. Think of 3 moments when you were fully in what you were doing, not watching the clock, not waiting for a grade. What do those moments have in common? There isn't necessarily a career in there, but there's the direction of your aliveness. The person who's found their question doesn't need permission. They already know where to go. Now, the last thing. The piece that would leave this conversation incomplete. I don't think school is the only one to blame. It had its own logic, its own era, its own limitations, and its own good teachers who lit something alive in kids despite the system. But here's what I keep coming back to. If a person is made in the image of the Creator, there's something in them built not just to repeat, but to create. Not just to guess the right answer, but to respond with their life. Not just to wait for a grade, but to carry responsibility before God, before their conscience, before the gift they've been trusted with. And maybe that's exactly why a life built only on finding other people's right answers starts to feel too small eventually. The ability to find your own path, to build something from nothing, to move forward without guarantees, that's not an option. It's part of what makes us human. And when that part gets suppressed, you live, but something feels off. Warm, fed, fine, but slightly beside the point. The program can be rewritten, not quickly, not in one conversation, but it can. Let's go back to the man from the beginning, the one sitting in front of a blank page. At some point, he stopped waiting, not because he'd found confidence, he hadn't, but because he understood. No one is coming to show him the right answer with a red pen. Life doesn't have that teacher. There are consequences. There's experience. There's the path. He took a step without a guarantee. Got some things wrong, got some things right. Kept going. A year later, he'd say that moment, when he stopped waiting, was one of the most important of his life. Not because everything worked out perfectly, but because he finally started living by his own mind. After so many years living by someone else's, maybe growing up doesn't begin when you're no longer afraid to make mistakes. Maybe it begins when you stop waiting for permission to take your next step. If this conversation hit something, hit like. Write in the comments one thing you've been wanting to do but keep waiting for the right moment or someone's permission. Just one. Saying it out loud is already halfway there. Subscribe if you like this kind of conversation. Honest, no hype, no easy promises. And if someone came to mind who might get something out of this, send it their way. Just as a thought, not as a directive. Take care of your aliveness. Don't hand it back to the red pen. Until next time.